Hello everyone, my name is Joe and I smell good. So today, it's a quick video and this is a little bit more for me than it is for you, but I wanted to put together a sort of attainable wanted list. So these are fragrances that are the most interesting to me right now that I don't own, that I'm hoping to pick up sometime in the next year. You may be wondering when you look at this list why you're not seeing things like Roja Parfums, Creed, or Fragrance du Bois, which are all very famous, prestigious names, prestigious houses. And that's because they're less attainable to me right now. This is such a hobby grade thing for me, and it's hard for me to justify spending $300–500 on a bottle of fragrance. So I don't have those on here. I'm hoping to at some point. I actually do have a discovery set from Creed and from Roja Parfums that I've been kind of working my way through, smelling them and kind of trying to refine my nose and learn, but not enough yet where I'm actually able to nail down a specific fragrance that I want to get from their collection. So that's why they're not on this list. Everything on here is basically $80 to $150, maybe close to $200, depending. It's all stuff that I think I can pick up without too much trouble and without spending too much money. If it's below $60, I pretty much didn't include it on this list because I don't really need a wish list for that. I'll just go buy it. So this is all kind of within that range of like a little bit more money than you'd want to spend on a single bottle, but not an insane amount of money that you don't have to spend on a bottle. I am going to go through a list of 11, and I did order them, rank them, I should say, from 11 to 1 in terms of my desire for them. Number 1, I'm likely to pick up very soon, just because I really want it. So at number 11, we have Sauvage Elixir from Dior. The notes in this are cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, grapefruit, lavender, licorice, sandalwood, amber, patchouli, and Haitian vetiver. I heard a stat that it was either 2020 or 2021, Dior sold a bottle of Sauvage every 7 minutes, I believe, globally. It is like the most popular fragrance that exists right now, and by all accounts, this is the best version of it, the Elixir. So I don't own any of them. I've smelled them, like if I go to a Nordstrom or something like that. It would just be kind of nice to have one to round out my collection. So it slips in at number 11, not a high priority for me. If it gets really cheap at some point, then I'll grab it, but I don't think that there are a lot of discounts on that from what I understand. At number 10 is H24 Eau de Parfum by Hermes. The notes in that one are clary sage, oak moss, sclerine, Brazilian rosewood, and narcissus. I believe sclerine is an aroma chemical that smells like a dry woody note. This one is basically because I watch a lot of Justin Copeland's videos, and he just did a review on this one and was a big fan of it. It sounds really interesting. It sounds like something I would be into. It's at number 10 because it's not a huge high priority to me, but I would like to get it. I hear a lot of really good things about Hermes, and I don't think I've smelled anything from them before. So there's actually 2 items on this list from Hermes, and that's one of them. At number 9, I just stuck the Hermeses together. I've got Terre de Hermes Intense Vetiver. This one is because I have a little bit of a love affair going on with vetiver right now. I'm going to talk about a fragrance later on that I'm truly in love with. It's actually my number 1 that I want to get, that I believe is like a vetiver kind of monster. I've gotten a couple samples of it. But this one, to me, just sounded really interesting. The notes on it are bergamot, grapefruit, and lemon, Szechuan pepper, geranium, vetiver, olibanum, patchouli, and amberwood. So I don't know what I would expect from that. But it all depends. I mean, the olibanum, I believe, is kind of an incense note. I'm still learning what all these things are, so I could be wrong about that. It just sounded interesting to me. And I've kind of got this thing going right now where I'm really intrigued by grassy, earthy notes and fragrances that kind of have that in them. So this sounds like it would be kind of up my alley in that regard. At number 8, I have Spice Bomb Extreme from Viktor & Rolf. The notes in this are vanilla, tobacco, black pepper, caraway, and lavender. I got early on, I'm only like 4 months into this, but early on I got a sampler pack from Sephora that had, I think, had like 10 or 12 of their most popular fragrances, and included in that was Spice Bomb, and I really like that one a lot. It's this warm, spicy, perfect for the seasons we're entering, fall and winter right now. Just seems like it would be absolutely glorious, and every review that I find of this one, I haven't smelled Extreme, but every review, actually, you know what? That's not true. I have smelled Extreme. I smelled it at an Ulta, so I have smelled it, but that was a couple months ago, so I should go back and smell it again. Everything I've heard about this is that it's kind of a refinement of regular Spice Bomb, which I already thought was amazing, so it's got my interest. And if I have to buy Spice Bomb or Spice Bomb Extreme, it seems like everyone says get Extreme. At number 7 is another one kind of in that same vein, I think. Stronger With You, absolutely, from Armani. The top notes in this are rum, elemi and bergamot, lavender, davana, chestnut, Madagascar vanilla, cedar, and patchouli. Those are such an interesting amalgam to me. That sounds like kind of a little bit like Bentley for Men Intense, that kind of boozy gourmand fragrance, and that just sounds delightful. As much as I'm kind of digging the grassy, earthy notes right now, I really do love the gourmand fragrances, and that's actually kind of what started me down this thing since I got the Most Wanted Parfum. Actually, no, sorry, the Most Wanted Eau de Parfum. This sounds like it's the best version of that. Again, I'm kind of going off reviews here, and since I'm building my collection and I'm kind of training my nose, I want to get things that are best in class by general consensus. So this is apparently one of the better non-niche gourmands. Okay, so for the top 6, these are ones that I'm actually pretty set on getting. So I'm probably going to end up with these ones in the next year. We'll see how soon. But at number 6, we have, I gotta read this one just because it's got a little bit more French than I'm used to still. La Nuit de l'Homme, Blue Electrique from YSL. I know this doesn't smell anything like it, but currently in my top 3, maybe top 1 is a pretty basic fragrance. I think a lot of experienced people would say it's YSL YEDP. So I smelled that, and it was so different and so beautiful compared to anything else I've ever smelled. Kind of made me fall in love with the brand. I've smelled a lot of their other stuff at department stores, and I like it. And anytime that you see a list on YouTube of like best discontinued fragrances, this is pretty much always in the top 3. It's in a lot of top 1s. People really miss Blue Electrique in the States, or at least in the fragrance community. So I would love to get my hands on this. I know it's only discontinued in the States, so occasionally you'll see it come into discounters and things like that. I would be really interested in picking up a bottle of this. The notes on it are cardamom, ginger, and bergamot, lavender, geranium, cedar, and vetiver. It just sounds like it would be beautiful. Number 5 is one that's been really popular lately. I've been seeing it pop up all over the place. It's Intense Cedrat Boisé from Mancera. The notes in that are Sicilian citruses, spices and black currant, leather, Cambodian oud, white sandalwood, patchouli leaf, and jasmine. Base notes are vanilla, ambergris, white musk, and oak moss. That is such an interesting, complex sounding breakdown of notes. I really want to get my hands on it. It's not too expensive either, so I'll probably pick that one up sooner rather than later. You can get that one for, I think, like 80 bucks or something like that. It's not too bad. So that's what I intend to do. All right, and number 4, we've got one that I'm pretty excited about, though I'm not sure how soon I'll be able to get this one because it is a little bit more expensive. I slipped it in here just because you can get it for the 200 range, and that would be Greenlee from Parfums de Marly. This one, I was at a Nordstrom looking for a fragrance to wear for my post-COVID reception that we just had a few weeks ago. I was talking to the head of the fragrance department, and she had a few different recommendations, and this was one of them, and it immediately drew me in. It was kind of this sweet, again, grassy, earthy note. The notes for Greenlee are green apple, bergamot and mandarin orange, petitgrain, cashmerean, cedar, pomerose, and violet. Base notes are oak moss, musk, and amberwood. It is a beautiful scent. It's this juicy green, bright fragrance. I will probably wait until spring to get it, just because I do feel like it works better in the summertime, but man, does it smell good. It is a beautiful, beautiful smell. I love that one, and I really want to get my hands on a bottle of it. All right, we're in the top 3, and actually 2 of the top 3 are the same brand. I've had samples of both of them. One of them is Notorious Oud from DS and Durga. The notes in this are saffron and camphor, gallibanum, oud, Bulgarian rose and lavender, papyrus, civet, and cetilox. I don't know what cetilox is, but I'll say this smells great. I was trying to think of how to describe oud, because it is kind of a different scent for people in the United States. I think it really only got popularized around the time that Tom Ford did Oud Wood back in 2012 or something like that. So, or 2008, I don't know, I don't have my years yet. Oud to me is a mixture of leather, wood, and almost like a rubber hose smell, like a hot rubber hose smell. And that doesn't sound appealing, but when you get your nose on it, it's just this kind of great, clean wood. I don't know how to describe it except for that. It's like a really delightful, clean wood resin. It's a kind of thing that I could wear all the time. It feels kind of soft. It's not grating. It's not aggressive. It's just, it's this delightful smell. And it's also got this kind of unique thing about feeling like a foreign smell, a truly unique foreign smell. At number 2, I have a very interesting scent. This is maybe my most controversial scent, and it is called Black Afghano from Nasomatto. The notes in this are cannabis and green notes. Middle notes are resins, woodsy notes, tobacco, and coffee. Base notes are oud and incense. This thing is a punch. It is such a rich, deep, warm smell. It says cannabis in the top, and I think you can get that, but you don't smell like a pothead. It's kind of more of just this like really resinous, smoky fragrance. My wife said that she couldn't smell weed in it, so it's not like an overpowering weed scent. It just has that as one of the notes, and I think that comes through in the resin. I showed this to my cousin. She absolutely loved it. I think this can be unisex. I think it takes a powerful person to wear it, so that's one of the reasons why it's not number 1 for me, because I don't know when I could wear it. I know my wife's family, it would be too much for them, so this is kind of the thing that I would get and wear just for myself, but I'm going to do it anyway because it smells really good. And it's just so complex and interesting, and I really like things that smell different, you know? So this totally applies, and everything I've heard about Nasomatto, that's the case with a lot of their stuff. So I plan on picking up more of their stuff in the future. This is just the only one I've smelled from their house, and I really like it a lot. And at number 1, again from DS and Durga, is Cowboy Grass. The notes for this are vetiver, clary sage, thyme, and sage. I don't want to spoil this too much because I do want to pick up a bottle of this fairly soon, because I want to make a whole video about this, not just a review, but kind of in theme with this channel so far, me talking about what I'm learning and things like that. This fragrance really has taught me a lot, and I really like it a lot. The first time I smelled it, it kind of confused my nose, and it was a little off-putting because of that. I smelled it and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And then the second time I came back to it, I was like, wow, this is interesting. And it's got that, it is very much that earthy, grassy thing that I was describing earlier. So I just want a bottle of this because I want to wear this one a lot because it just smells so pickin' good to me. I really like it a lot because I feel like the name really fits. It feels like a dirty cowboy would smell like this, you know, like it just smells like a cowboy that's got a little bit of dirt on his boots, a little bit of grass, you know, something like that. Like it just feels fitting. And it's such a great smell, extremely aromatic. It's the thing that taught me about aromatic fragrances. So it's got this really expansive, grassy note, kind of sharp, but not unpleasantly so. Big fan. So I'm gonna pick a bottle of that up soon. It just smells too good for me not to. And then I'm gonna make a whole video about it because I really like it a lot. Anyway, that's my list of things that I plan to pick up sometime, hopefully in the next year. Maybe I'll make a video in a year and we'll see how many of them I actually did. Hopefully all of them. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for joining me. Oh, I know people always ask for comments, but I really am new at this stuff and I don't know anything, so I really do need help from the experienced people. If you know of alternatives to the things that I listed that are doing something similar, or maybe like a really good clone or something like that, let me know in the comments. I want to pick those up. I'm all about smelling different and interesting things, and so I would love to hear your suggestions and see what else is out there. So if there's something that you think that I don't have on here that I should, please let me know, and I'll add that to my list. So thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.